Hey there guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today we're gonna talk about some more consumer outrage, cause, well, EA and 2K are definitely really just shocking me now. So EA Games has essentially admitted that yes, loot boxes are gambling. However, they're stating that because they operate within a certain regulated field where there is no way to cash out and you're guaranteed to get some kind of monetized value, and they are actually now claiming that yes, these are actually gambling things, like the loot boxes are now gambling. EA is blatantly saying that. They're also stating that they have no intentions of stopping loot boxes. Well, I'm not drastically appalled to loot boxes, especially if they're only cosmetic items. I do have an issue with a lot of the way that certain games do them, especially when you look at EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2. EA Games is kind of not the most consumer-friendly company. I shouldn't say kind of not the most. They're literally the least consumer-friendly company probably on the market, outside of a few other notable companies, GameStop. So it is really interesting to me to see them be willing to just double down on this. And again, I'm not appalled when it is something as simple as cosmetics, but I honestly I like it a little more when companies just straight sell the skins. When you look at games like Fortnite has made a tremendous amount of money off of its skin section and you being able to buy skins. And it blatantly just sells you the skins. Like, here's the skin, you can buy it, this is what you're getting. Rather than, oh, keep buying until you get what you want. So, again, Rainbow Six does it too, where you can buy the special skins, or you can buy them with in-game currency. Obviously, certain skins you can only buy with money, such as the elite skins, which, again, I'm okay with that. I know what I'm getting. I'm buying a certain skin. It comes with a bunch of different stuff, and it is an upfront cost. It's not here, dump as much money as you can until you get the skin that you're wanting. Now, personally, I do like when companies tend to add skins that you unlock that are harder to unlock based on certain achievements, but I get it, that's not fun for them. They don't earn any money on that. But now you also have 2K Games coming into the argument, and 2K Games wants I can't remember what country it is, but it wants them to reach out to the people that run the government and essentially start begging for the loot boxes thing to be overturned. So 2K Games now wants you to beg to get screwed by them. Odd, right? They want you to now advocate for an anti-consumer practice. Now, don't get me wrong, 2K Games makes some great games, but when you look at games like NBA 2K18, was it 18? 17? 18, I believe was the one, with all the excessive amount of microtransactions, and you have to pay to get your character an actual haircut in the game, and then if you want to up your stats and essentially be something that's not like a high schooler trying to play in the NBA, then you're going to have to dump some actual money to play in the My Career mode, or the story mode of the 2K games. I don't play a lot of 2K, at least not since they went all loot box heavy. I think the only copy of 2K I currently own is 2K15, if I'm not mistaken. And it is sad because a lot of the sports games tend to do this, and after seeing how much FIFA makes, it's even more shocking. But 2K owns a lot of other companies. They are a publisher for several major developers, one of which being, most notably, Rockstar Games. So that is a little disconcerting, especially when you can look at how Grand Theft Auto 5 has been evolved overall. By the way, I want to point out, I did that Red Dead Redemption 2 video where I said it was going to suck due to all the microtransactions, and everyone went all hot and heavy on me, and they were like, oh, you just don't know how to play, you don't know what you're doing. Well, I watch another channel called It's a Gundam. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of It's a Gundam. He's a significantly larger YouTuber than I am, and he actually stated the exact same thing that I did, and his video didn't get review bombed. It's almost crazy to think that I might actually be right on that prediction. I hope I'm not. I mean, for the love of God, I really hope that the online economy in Red Dead Redemption 2 is nowhere near as broken as what it is in Grand Theft Auto 5, but it could be. But now these companies now want you to fight for their right to screw you. It's essentially a way of them sliding it in and you being like, hashtag me too, and them being like, yeah, but now your career's over and you're not gonna have anything fun to do, so you have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, please sir, may I have another? And it's just a little concerning to me, especially when these are two major companies. I mean, 2K Games isn't exactly a small player in the gaming field. I mean, there are a lot of different gaming companies that are under them, and a lot of different games that they actually hold the rights to. A good example of that would be they have the rights to BioShock. So these are games I would like to see. Like, if BioShock does get the dust blown off and they bring it back, it's probably going to be like, yeah, but now we're going to sell you the NPCs. If you want NPCs in your game, you now have to pay for them. Okay, that might be a little bit overboard, but you get what I'm saying. It's not, we're not living in a world where it's here, let's be friendly to the consumer, and that's a really bad idea, because the more you screw the consumer, the less the consumer wants to buy your product. That is how capitalism works. You vote with your wallets, guys. If you don't like the practices of a company, don't shop there. Eventually, they'll either have to change their practices or go out of business. It is that simple. And I don't want to say, there's a lot of times where the consumer can act very entitled. And there are some loot boxes that don't really piss me off, but unfortunately it's take it with a grain of salt, and the more you become okay with it, well, the more companies are going to be okay doing it. I remember a point in time where people were outraged by season passes and DLC expansions. And honestly, there's almost a part of me that's like, man, I kind of miss just paying for some extra story content. When you look at games like Skyrim, people got outraged at Oblivion when Oblivion released some horse armor. Some damn horse armor. And it was $1.99 for the horse armor. But, you know, now you can pay $12, $15 for a single skin in Fortnite or Rainbow Six. And again, I defended those because you know what you're getting up front, and I don't necessarily always like that whole concept. I don't like when companies release a season pass and don't detail what's in the season pass. But unfortunately, I also think the days of the season pass are done. But there are companies too, like if you look at War of Mordor, or whatever the hell that game was called, the second Mordor game. It was actually a really good game. It did have loot boxes in it. I don't feel the loot boxes were overbearing, but they did go back later and remove the loot boxes from that game. And I would assume a lot of it has to do with the consumer backlash that they received for ever even putting them in. So again, it comes down to the more you become tolerant of certain things, like being screwed by a company, the more that company is going to take advantage of it, and the more those companies are going to feel willing to push that boundary. Obviously, EA, I could probably have always told you, would have been the most willing to push that boundary. I mean, they are literally viewed as like one of the worst companies, especially to work for, and they ruin studios. You can look at BioWare. BioWare, it almost looks like a shell of its old self, and I'm almost having issues even finding the slightest bit of interest in Anthem, which is sad because BioWare is one of my favorite franchises, or favorite developers that there is. And here I am struggling to find interest in their new game, which is supposed to be Destiny-esque. And, you know, I like Destiny, so you would think that I'd be super interested in that. But honestly, after Mass Effect Andromeda, it's almost hard for me to give two flying shits about what BioWare makes. They need to fix the concept there. And the sad part is that game didn't sell enough, yet still broke over 1 million copies for the DLC to be canceled because EA found that to be a failure. There are games out there that are much better than what Andromeda was and wish they could sell 1 million copies. So EA is lucky they even hit that. But guys, if you want to follow me anywhere else, you can find all of the links in the description box down below. Also, I'd love to hear your feedback, so you can leave that in the comments. And don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and you can click that subscribe button and ding the little bell, and I'll have plenty more content coming for you, so stick around.